baby, what the fuck you got going on? She was like, what? That's my cousin. I said, ain't your motherfucking cousin. What's his name? I said, yeah. I said, then what's all this? And homies telling me that you got niggas coming in and out of the house and all this. Like, man, what's going on? Okay, I don't know if y'all know that I was married before I went to prison. So let me share this story with y'all. So I went to this cookout, right, with me and my homies. And it was this light-skinned chick named Donna that I've been, peeping for the last 2 weeks or whatever. And she was there. So, I rolled up on her, whatever, and, she was feeling me. Now, I'm talking to her, whatever, and then I go walk off to go get me some barbecue. And one of my homeboys was like, hey, you talking to her? I said, I'm trying to. He was like, man, she a nympho, right? I said, what? He was like, she a nympho. Now, I done heard that before, like that word nympho before, but I never really understood what that meant. I'm like, what is that? He was like, she like to, get it in. I was like, for real? He was like, yeah. I was like, oh, well, shit, it's on and cracking then. Let me tell y'all something. I should have, a lot of us men, we think with that thing down there. We don't think with our brains. And I'm going to tell you why. If I would have thought with my brain, I would have perfectly understood what that meant. That, hey, Dante, when she get away from you or you go somewhere, she going to have her cravings. She going to need them cravings taken care of. But anyway, so in my head, I'm thinking like, shoot, it's all right. It's on. So I peel back over there and I'm like, so what you doing when you get out of here? I went straight with it, straight to it. I said, what you doing when you get out of here? She was like, I don't know. I said, hold on, you got a man? She was like, no, I got a couple friends though. I was like, couple friends? She was like, yeah, don't you? I said, yeah, I got it. She was like, okay. So I was like, so what you doing when you get out of here? She was like, I'm going with you, I guess. I said, what? She was like, yeah. Matter of fact, come on, let's go now. So I go holler at the homies, let them know, y'all about to bounce up out of here, whatever, right? So at this time, y'all, I was driving the '08 Yukon XL, big boy version, right? With the 3 seats, the first 2 seats, the driver's seat, the passenger seat. Then you got that 1 seat right there, then that back seat, right? So we get in the car. Well, as we approach in the car, she goes straight to the back seat, right? And I'm like, what are you doing? She was like, come back here and get this. Now, due to YouTube laws and regulations and stuff like that, I can't say what she said, but y'all fill in the blanks. So she was like, come back here and get this. So I'm like, say less. So I jumped back there and, I lay that 1 seat down and, it's like a bed. It looked like it could be like a little bed or whatever. So I go back there and, I handle my business. Now, before we go on with this story, I need for y'all to do me a quick favor. It ain't going to cost y'all nothing, all right? It ain't going to cost you nothing. First, I need for y'all to hit the like button, all right? And then we about to do the question of the day, all right? The question of the day is this. Do you support Donald Trump or don't you? Let me know in the comment section. That's the question of the day. There's no right answers. There's no wrong answers. Just put your opinion, your comment in the comment section. Do you support Donald J. Trump? All right, y'all, let's get back to the story. So I get back there and I handle my business. And when I say I handle my business, I handle my business. You want to know how you know for you men out there? If you wonder if your girl faking or whatever, now it's a couple ways. Now, if she's moaning all super loud and you ain't really hitting it like that, you know what I'm saying? You can tell like she just putting on. But a woman's body never lied to you. And I'm going to tell you how. When a woman start pushing up on you and You just know when she's really into it, you will know. Okay, and just put it this way: towards the end, with the end part, the chick starts shaking uncontrollably, the eyes rolling in the back of her head. So that's when I knew the job was done. So anyway, let's move this along. Now, for the next 2 weeks, y'all, I'm talking about 3, 4, 5 times a day. And I know some of y'all gonna like, oh, Dante, this cap. You weren't putting it down like that. You would come on. Hey man, listen. Anyway, so like I said, I'm putting in work. We both putting in work. Now it's becoming apparent to me what this nympho thing is, because now, like, I mean, once I normally, when I put it down, especially back in them days, that's it. I put you to sleep, but it was like it started becoming like damn. I done put in this work, and then like 10 minutes later, she come back and they're talking about you want to go again. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I went again, but after like 2 weeks of this, you like, man, like, dog, like, come on, man. I'm starting to hurt down there. You know what I'm talking about? Because that is like a muscle, I believe. And if you use it too much, you're going to start hurting. So I'm like, man, I'm kind of sore, man. Like, hold on, man. Give me a minute. Give me an ice pack or something, right? Now, this is where the bullshit come into play, y'all. Now, I know. I already can tell in the audience, a couple of y'all gonna be like, oh, Dante, that wasn't player. That wasn't G. You broke the player code. I end up asking her to marry me, y'all. I did. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I did. I was in love. I ain't gonna lie. The thing, I mean, outside of, us, getting it on like that all the time, she was cool. She played the video game with me, and we used to go fishing together. She liked what I liked, so I mean, it was she was cool. So eventually, be living in Flint, Michigan, and if you outside like that, eventually you will go to jail. And me being outside, I'm gonna tell y'all what happened. So I walk into the store, right? Now my hood store, where I stayed on Edmond Street, and I'm going to say the hood store was on Gillespie Street, or whatever, right there on the corner. And so I gotta walk up 2 blocks up the street and then bust that left, and then bust that other left, and then I'm on Gillespie Street or whatever. So I'm walking there, and when I got by Pooter them house up the street, the state police just came out of nowhere, right, and jumped out on me, guns drawn. Get against the car. Get against the car. I'm like, what the right? They grabbed me, throw me up on the hood and everything. I'm like, god damn, man, what's up, man? They're like, where you coming from? I said, I'm coming from the house, man. I'm coming from the house. They're like, what's your name? What's your name? Right? Now, what I know now is that they was just fishing, man. They was just in the hood, because 9 times out of 10, mostly every dude got warrants in the hood or whatever. So they was just fishing. So they got me against the hood or whatever, and I tell them my name. And they were like, don't lie. If you lie to us, you're going to make it worse for yourself. So I told him my name, whatever, and sure enough, Dante had a warrant, right, for unpaid parking tickets. Can you believe that? So they locked me up, take me down to the Genesee County Jail. I'm in the bullpen. Now, back in those days, y'all, I was broke. I was broke as hell. I wasn't even tripping on a bond, because I knew even if I got a bond, I wasn't going to be able to pay it, right? I was broke back then. Broke. So I'm sitting in the county or whatever, and, I call her, and she's like, well, I'll see what I can do or whatever, right? And I'm like, yeah, but I really wasn't expecting nothing from her anyway, because she ain't had no money. So I'm like, all right. So I end up getting the rain or whatever. I go see the judge in the morning time, right? So I get there, they like, okay, either you're gonna pay or stay. And what pay or stay is exactly what it means. Either you're gonna pay these tickets or you gonna stay here. Now, amount of time that you stay here, that depends on the judge. So I'm like, well, how long would I have to stay here? And he was like, 30 days. So now the good thing about pay or stay is that if you stay, depending on what tickets you got, they'll just wipe it off. You know, you just do your time in the county and you just pray to God that the county get, overbooked, with so many people coming in or whatever, and they'll start letting people go early, right? So I said, all right, fuck, I'm going to stay because, shit, I ain't had no money anyway to get out. So I'm in there, right? I call her and tell her, like, when I get on the floor or whatever, I'm like, hey, man, I'm going to be in here for 30 days or whatever. And she was like, oh, I miss you and all this and that. I can't wait to see you and all this and that. I'm like, all right, bet. Next day, oh, I miss you, blah, blah, blah. I can feel you inside me and all this and that. I'm like, okay, bet. Third day, right? Now, she stayed with her mama. And normally when I called, she would answer the phone, right? And this is the house phone we talking about. So I called, no answer. The fourth day, no answer. The fifth day, no answer. The sixth day, no answer. So I'm like, man, what the heck going on? Okay, I know she just can't stay at the house all day, but she ain't really got nothing to do. So where the heck is she at? I'm like, all right, man, whatever. So like on the eighth day, I called her, right? She was like, oh, hey. I said, well, where you been at? You been gone for like a week. I ain't talked to you like a week. She was like, oh, I was just out, just out. I said, what was you doing? She was like, I was just out. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So she was like, when you getting out? I was like, I don't know, man. Probably in like 12 more days, 15 more days, something like that. I don't know. She was like, oh, okay, I miss you. I can't wait to. And I hear a voice in the background. Now, from my understanding, I never met no male cousins. I know she ain't got no brothers. Her daddy ain't there. Uncles, none of that. I never, you know what I'm saying? Because I always was at her house, right? When we met and when we was doing what we was doing, we was always at her house, because she stayed with her mom or whatever. So I'm like, who was that? And she was like, oh, I got to go. And she hang up. So I'm calling back. Y'all know how these jailbirds is. Keep calling, right? She takes the phone off the hook, right? So I'm like, all right. So I'm calling the next day, no answer. The next day, no answer. Now the third day, she answered the phone. I'm like, hey, what's going on, man? Why you ain't been answering the phone? She was like, man, I've been busy. But what do you mean? Now she giving me attitude and all this. I'm like, all right, man. I'm like, so who was that guy? She was like, what dude? I said, the dude that when you hung up on me, that guy. She was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, all right, man, whatever. Right? I said, listen, I'm going to call you at a certain time every day, so you just make sure you be here to answer the phone. She's like, what time? I said 7 o'clock because they turn the phones off at 8, right? And we go on lockdown at 9. So that's 7 o'clock. She was like, that ain't going to work for me. I was like, what you got to do? She was like, that's just not going to work for me. Call in the morning. I said, what time? She was like, 10 a.m. I said, all right, man. So I call her the next day at 10 a.m. And keep in mind, y'all, I'm in the county jail. There's nothing really you got your occasional fights, but, Genesee County was never really off the chain, so I ain't got too many prison stories to tell you, jail stories to tell y'all about Genesee County. I got a couple, but it ain't really worth mentioning right now. We just focusing on this story right here. So I get a call, right? Dante, yeah, pack it up. Pack it up mean, hey, you going home, right? Now, I ain't coming there with nothing anyway. So, I ain't got nothing in here. A couple bag potato chips, 2 Pepsis, nothing really. So, I'm sitting there waiting or whatever. Then, the deputy come up, be like, all right, come on, roll it out. So I leave out and I'm going to process whatever, and I get dressed out. Dressed out mean when they take you out of your jail jumpsuit and put you in your, they give you the clothes that you came in there with. So I'm like, all right, bet. And so I put my clothes on, whatever. Now you get one car. You get one car. You get a car, a free call or whatever. So I get on the phone, right? She ain't answer the phone at all. I'm like, man, what the hell going on, man? So then, I called my mama. My mama, she out of town and all this and that. My uncle, he answered the phone at mama house. And, your mama gone to Texas. She ain't going to be back up. At this point, y'all, I'm just worried about how I'm going to get home, right? Because my house where I lived at, it maybe was about a 40-minute, about an hour walk from the county jail, from downtown to my house. So it was about an hour walk. But hell, it was like 85 degrees outside. And I'm like, man, I'm not about to walk, right? Now, the bus terminal is maybe a 7 to 8 minute walk from the county jail. So I'm like, all right, well, maybe because I got a couple dollars. I got like $8, $9. So I'm just jump on the North Saginaw bus or whatever and get off on my street. So I said, okay, that's fine. I'm just going to go there, right? So they pop the doors and I walk out. So the only thing that's on my mind right now is I got to get to the hood. I got to get to the hood, right? So I walk to the bus terminal or whatever, and I see my homeboy Ride Dog, right? And I'm like, hey, what up, man? He like, man, where you been at, D? I said, man, nigga, I just got out the county. He was like, for real? I said, yeah. He was like, oh. I said, why you say that like that? He was like, man, you ain't heard? I said, no, what? What happened? He was like, man, hey, man, your girl Donna, man, that's what's happening. I said, what you mean? He was like, man, I ain't the one to gossip, but man, you gonna find out when you get. I'm like, what? He like, man, D, I don't want to tell you. I said, no, man, tell me, nigga, you already started, man, tell me. Hey, don't y'all hate when people do that? They come tell you some bad news, but they don't really want to tell you where it came from, or they tell you, man, that's why you come with it anyway if you ain't gonna tell me. So I'm like, man, what happened? What's going on? He like, man, hey, man. Hey, it been so many dudes, man. Hey, it been so many dudes coming in and out that house, bruh. I said, what? He was like, yeah, man, it been so many niggas coming in and out that house, man. Hey, man, I thought he was like, man, that house was wide open. I said, what you mean? He like, man, come on, Dante, come on. I said, what? He was like, man, you know she an info. I said, man, what is that? What do that mean? He like, man, she like to get it. She like to have sex. I said, oh. I said, so you mean to tell me? I said, no, man. No. So now we on the North Saginaw bus. I'm fuming. I got to get to the hood right now. I got to get to the hood. So get off, right? Get off the bus at the bus stop. He get off too. And I'm walking straight up the street, straight to the house, right? And I see this Monte Carlo parked in front of the house. So I bail up on the car, and she's sitting on the passenger side, and it's this nigga with dreads with gold teeth in his mouth, with some Ray-Bans just sitting there. And I know this drug dealer, a crack dealer, a weed dealer. So I lean up in the window, I lean all the way up in the window, get damn near up in the car. So I'm like, hey, what's going on? So he like, hey man, who the fuck is you? Now he got a gun. I see a gun right here, like on the middle console, whatever, but he couldn't even get to it. Cause when I say my head, like half of my body is damn near in the car. And I'm like, hey man, what's going on up in here? What's this? What's going on? And she was like, oh, this is my cousin. I'm like, oh no, hell, that's ain't your motherfucking cousin. He was like, hey man, bag. I said, hey man, shut your motherfucking mouth. Now keep in mind, y'all, I'm all up in this man car. No, this picture yourselves as the driver, and I just come up in the window, like all up in there. Like my face is at the steering wheel. Like my shoulders, I'm up in the car. So I'm like, man, no, hell, this ain't your motherfucking cousin. And he like, man, hey, man, back up. I said, hey, no, hold on. I said, hey, man, get out the car. Get out the car. I'm talking to her, right? So she get out the car. She was like, what? So I bag out and he cut the car. He peel off. I'm like, man, what the fuck you got going on? She was like, what? That's my cousin. I said, ain't your motherfucking cousin. What's his name? I said, yeah. I said, then what's all this? And homie's telling me that you got niggas coming in and out of the house and all this. Like, man, what's going on? She's like, well, you was gone. I ain't know you was ever getting out. And, you know, they was telling me that you was cheating. I'm like, man, hold on, man. So you, what? She was like, I said, man, go in the house. And so, you know, the hood was coming out. Everybody was coming out. They was like, hey, man, what's going on? So after that, we get in the house. I said, so what's going on? I need some answers. You know, niggas telling me that you have about 5-10 guys coming every night. Like, that why you want to answer the phone? She like, look, oh, hey, I got a problem. I got an issue. I got an issue. And I just always been like this all my life and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, man. Right? Now it dawned on me, right? Because I never knew what that word meant. And now it hit me. This person really have a mental disorder dealing with things like that. Let me ask y'all a question in the comment section. Have y'all ever met somebody that suffered from that? Let me know in the comment section. With that, y'all, if y'all enjoyed this story, make sure y'all smash that like button and share the video. Also, if you ain't subscribed to my Patreon, I will have that link pinned at the top of the comment section. And again, y'all, the question of the day, do y'all agree with Donald Trump? Is he doing a good job or he doing a bad job? Let me know in the comment section. With that, this is the Dante Show Network. Over and out. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, hype the video, and share the video. To watch my exclusive videos, you must become a member. I'm going to have the members link pinned at the top of the comment section. Have you sent your weekly donation to support the Dante Show Network? If not, that's okay. I got you. We are now accepting CASHAPP, Zelle, and PayPal. All gifts and donations are highly appreciated. If you are trying to reach me for business opportunities, I'm going to have my contact information pinned at the top of the comment section. Also, get in contact with me if you need your business, your book, your social media channel, a product, your brick and mortar, whatever it is that you need promoted, get in contact with me. My contact information will be pinned at the top of the comment section and in the description. Until next time, take care.